Motivation can be a huge problem when you're working on a long project, like a novel or a nonfiction book. It can wax and wane, which is normal, but sometimes it helps to have a couple of tools in your writerly toolbox to help. Hi, I'm Jennifer Gregson, a tarot book coach who helps writers get past fears and blocks so they can get on with the fun part of writing and get their novels finished. Today, I'd like to start with a visualization exercise. So I'd love if you grabbed a notebook so you had some paper handy, and then closed your eyes and thought about when this project is all finished. What does that look and feel like? Is this book traditionally published or self-published? Where can you find your book? Online? In bookstores, in libraries? Are you seeing readers holding them in their hands? And how do you feel? How do you feel that this project is complete? Perfect. Now that you've thought it, open your eyes and take some notes so you don't forget. Or pause this video and write. Use this as great journaling information so that you can figure out your book's big why. And once you get some of that written down, I want you to think about one final question. What excites you right now about this book project? As you're currently writing it or currently thinking about it or outlining it or wherever you are in the process, what excites you about your story or your idea right now? All of these make up your project's big why. And sometimes thinking about it and writing it down is enough to motivate you. But I'm gonna bet you're gonna need more than that some days. Some days this may be enough. Think about your big why and you can sit down and write without a problem. But I'm gonna guarantee you one day will come, well, that's not gonna be enough. And I wanna teach you a fun little exercise that I use with tarot cards to help give me a little kick in the butt. So a little backstory. I am currently working on a draft of a book set in the circus. And my big why is I have two very distinct main characters, and I love working on and sort of deepening my knowledge of female friendships, especially amongst high school/teenagers. There is just such an interesting dynamic, one that I lived through, one that I watch others live through, and just sort of exploring that is really, really fun for me and one of the big themes in most of my books. And the thing with this circus book is it's not just this cool dynamic, but it's a really cool setting. And that is one of my big whys. And some days it really is the thing that motivates me to sit down at my computer and write. But not always, because I'm human. And we all have our little issues. So one of the big things I talk about and sort of preach is having a writing ritual, which go up in the card above. I have a whole video about creating a sort of build your own writing ritual. And one of the things I do is I pull a tarot card before every session. And usually I ask questions like, what do I need to know today? What does my main character need me to know? What is my book telling me? Like things like that. But if I'm having a really hard time motivating myself and I need that little extra bit, I will use it to ask the tarot questions. And today's question is, how can I get a kick in the butt? And I'm using the Lightseers Tarot because this deck, not only is it beautiful, it has amazing colors, which if you've been watching these videos for a while, you know I love, but it also has an amazing guidebook. And I think for the motivation, you don't necessarily need to know your intuitive side. You can lean into a guidebook to help you. And so I'm going to use this deck as an example of that. So what do I need for a kick in the butt today? That was loud. Ooh, the moon. So let's just look at this card because this deck is absolutely stunning. So the things I know about the moon, the card, the moon, is that it's very dreamy. It's a very surreal sort of card. So maybe I need to journal about my dreams, right? So right off the bat, I can start looking at this card and thinking of things. Or the moon. The moon is very special to me personally. I follow the moon phases as sort of my witchcraft practice is very built on the moon. So to me, the moon is very important. So maybe to give myself extra motivation, I need to do something with the moon. But I'm going to turn to the guidebook and see what it says about the moon. So let me hold the card up just really briefly so you can look, really get an idea for yourself. Maybe it's swimming, something with water, take a shower, a bath, something with wolves or dogs or animals in general. So okay, now let's look at the guidebook. So now we're going to go to the guidebook. So the moon is card number 18 in the major arcana. And the guidebook says it's about illusions, hidden truths, the unknown, facing your fears, mystery, symbolism, uncertainty, and dreams. The shadow side of this card, sort of the way they see it is this would be your light side and this would sort of be your shadow side. I hardly ever look at a card reversed. That's just my personality and the way I personally read it. But sometimes I do like to look at the shadow side when I'm doing these kinds of exercises. Tip. So it's talking about fears, things that block you, being separated from reality, being very linear in your thinking, and worrying about mental confusion or anxiety. It's kind of interesting. So it says, when we're faced with uncertainty and illusion, it can feel like we are drowning. Trust that you will be okay, even if you can't seem to distinguish up from down right now. And there's a nice little affirmation at the bottom of this guidebook. I'll turn it around and show you in a minute. It says, I am safe and I reach new levels of unconscious knowing as I surrender to the will of the universe. It's pretty deep. You can pause and read the rest of that if you would like. So now that I've read the guidebook and I know a little bit more about the moon and this particular card, yes, I can still see, the water elements, the watery elements. Maybe I do need some self-care time. Maybe I need to soak my feet. That's a big thing for me. But sort of that trusting yourself and feeling like you're uneasy, like you're drowning. Maybe I need to do some sort of grounding exercise. Now, however that means to me. My typical grounding is to feel my feet on the floor, to close my eyes, to breathe and count my breaths, and sort of go through the five senses. Like, what can I hear? What can I smell? What can I see, either with my eyes shut or eyes open? What can I feel? Like, can I feel the air on my skin? Can I feel the floor on my feet? What are the five senses? Did I go through all of them? What can I see? Taste. What can I taste? That one's a little harder, but sometimes if you've eaten lunch or you've got your toothpaste on your teeth, sometimes you can taste that, but it does ground you into the reality of right now. So maybe before I write, I need to do that. Maybe I need to turn into my dreams and do some journaling about the moon or what the moon means to me or what I've been dreaming about. So what do you see? I would love to know. Now, if you like this exercise, then you should definitely click the link in my description box below to join the waitlist for my signature course, Turn on the Tap, because I go into a lot more exercises like this, not only to help with motivations, but to also help you generate a ton of ideas, deal with your inner editor, and learn to have a lot of fun while getting over writer's block once and for all. I teach you how to go from writer block to writer flow. So if that's interesting to you, join that wait list and you will find out more information right away. You will get early access to the course really, really soon. And we start in June. And please subscribe to this channel. I make new videos at least every other week for writers where I teach you how to use the magical tool of tarot. If that's interesting to you, join me. I would love to see you there. Have a great day.